I am
Hi everyone, it's Charlie. This is going to be my video for the extended cut of Avengers Endgame. That's right, they're re-releasing Avengers Endgame in theaters, even though it's still technically in theaters right now, with a new post-credit scene and a whole bunch of extra footage after the credits. So I'll explain what that is and talk about Marvel's Comic-Con panel, because Kevin Feige said that they are coming back and they will be showing off some stuff in Hall H. We're doing that Spider-Man Far From Home IMAX ticket giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a Spider-Man or Avengers comment on the video. I'll name a new winner at the end of this. So the big news is they've been doing the press junkets for Spider-Man Far From Home. While the press was asking Kevin Feige a whole bunch of different questions, there's like 4 or 5 different videos based on the big teasers that he dropped during his interviews. One of them was just him casually mentioning, oh yeah, next weekend we're going to re-release Avengers Endgame in theaters with a bunch of extra footage after the credits. He said that it's actually not technically an extended cut of the film, so it's the theatrical cut with a whole bunch of stuff tacked on at the end as sort of a new post-credit scene.
All right. Let's this up.
We know how long that is, so we know how much extra footage there's going to be, but this is his exact quote. He says, not an extended cut, but there will be a version going into theaters with a bit of a marketing push with a few new things at the end of the movie. If you stay and watch the movie, after the credits, there will be a deleted scene, a little tribute, and a few surprises, which will be next weekend. That means a week from me posting this video, so not this weekend, but the following weekend, depending on when you're watching this video. Sometimes people don't see my videos till like a week after I post them. So we're talking June 28th is when the new cut of Avengers Endgame is supposed to hit theaters. There hasn't been a lot of news about which theaters are going to be screening this special cut and if they're going to be doing it internationally. But tickets go on sale June 24th, that's next Monday, and they didn't say how long the extended cut is going to be in theaters, if it'll just be that one weekend or if it'll be an entire week. I think that whatever they do, it will stop screening before Spider-Man Far From Home hits theaters so that they don't cannibalize its opening weekend box office too much. But the whole reason for them doing this is so that they can beat Avatar's worldwide box office record. They're within about $40 million, maybe a little bit less than that now, so they don't need that much. So obviously Kevin Feige is dangling the carrot. We see what you're doing there, putting a whole bunch of extra post-credit scenes on Avengers Endgame so that we'll buy double tickets. That's the funny thing too, you're basically buying a ticket to go see an extra post-credit scene. Who's going to do that? And everybody just raises their hand. Of course I've seen Avengers Endgame a couple times. Of course I'm going to buy a ticket for just a couple minutes of extra footage. The extended cut is going to be about 7 minutes longer than the regular cut, so you will have to buy a special ticket. It's not the regular screening, so just make sure when you try to buy a ticket on Monday that is for the quote-unquote special cut of Avengers Endgame, or whatever they call it. Because Kevin Feige said that they're going to have a special marketing push, they'll let you know what it's going to be called, so they'll have special listings so you'll know how to differentiate it from the regular cut of Avengers Endgame. We already know what all the Blu-ray bonus features are going to be for Avengers Endgame, so I'm guessing that some of the Blu-ray bonus features will be part of this special extra footage. But the deleted scene that he's talking about that they tacked on, odds are pretty good that it's going to be the scene of Catherine Langford playing the adult version of Iron Man's daughter, Morgan Stark, talking to him in that orange space of the Soul World inside the Soul Gem, right after he snaps Thanos and his army away with his improvised Infinity Gauntlet. Because they shot it completely, they finished the scene in editing and even showed it to test audiences and had to remove it at the last minute because people just did not get who she was. They didn't realize that she was supposed to be his adult daughter. The whole reason for the scene being in the movie is that it was meant to be a mirror for Thanos' scene with young Gamora after he snaps everyone and she says, "Did you do it? What did it cost?" And he says, "Everything." And the intention in that Thanos version of the scene during Avengers Infinity War is that he's talking to a piece of Gamora's soul, the Gamora that he sacrificed, who still hasn't come back, because the Gamora at the end of Avengers Endgame is actually the Gamora from 2014 that got pulled out of time. Still a couple Gamora questions going into Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 as Guardians of the Galaxy. The Iron Man version of the scene was meant to be a little more positive and make him feel better about what he'd done, sacrificing his life, knowing that he was going to die when he snapped Thanos away, just because he's a normal human, so no matter how much technology he was using, the force of the gauntlet was just going to overwhelm his body. I don't know what the dialogue was, but it was kind of a version of the scene that he had with Pepper Potts right before he passes away, where she says, "You did it, we're gonna be okay, you can rest now." You can still hear Spider-Man crying his way to Spider-Man Far From Home in the background of this scene.
Everywhere I go, I see his face. I just really miss him.
Yeah, I miss him too.
There are a whole bunch of other deleted scenes that I've already done videos about. I'll link those at the end of this. It could be another deleted scene because remember, it's only 7 minutes long, so there's a couple different things that are going to be happening during that. So whatever the deleted scene is, it's probably only a couple minutes. This Iron Man, Spider-Man scene is just an example of one of the deleted scenes that they've released already.
Mr. Stark! Oh my god! Holy cow! You will not believe what's been going on. Do you remember that we were in space just a minute ago? And then I vanished and what's all that gray stuff in your hair?
It's just gray hair.
Oh, it's okay. And how to... What are you doing?
The tribute that Kevin Feige is talking about is the Stan Lee tribute from the Blu-ray bonus features, but it's a cut-down version of it because the Stan Lee tribute on the Blu-ray is going to be way, way longer. But the extra last few minutes, the quote-unquote something special that Kevin Feige mentions, might be part of the gag reel or even a peek at some of the Marvel Phase 4 movie concept art or something in that vein. I don't think that it's going to be anything Spider-Man Far From Home related. But remember, it's basically 7 extra minutes after Avengers Endgame credits, so just brand new post-credit scene. Whatever ends up happening, I'll do a video for it. Of course, I'm going to go see it in theaters, so don't worry. There'll be a new Easter egg video as soon as they drop that. When we get to Comic-Con, and about a week before that comes out, I'll actually do giveaways for the Blu-ray itself, so no worries. But speaking of Marvel's Comic-Con, so big news is Marvel's returning to Hall H because they skipped last year because it was before Avengers Endgame's marketing push began. It was right after they dusted all the heroes, so they're like, we're not quite ready to talk about everybody coming back just a couple months right after we killed most of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They've been putting up banners around the Gaslamp Quarter near the San Diego Convention Center. They all say, "We love you, 3000 from the Avengers." Kevin Feige did say that they would be showing off some special stuff, but the only movie that they'll have actually been shooting when Comic-Con starts is the Black Widow movie. They're shooting that right now. Comic-Con is at the end of July. They will have not started shooting the Eternals movie or Shang-Chi yet. They could show off a Black Widow clip, but they wouldn't have time to finish special effects, so it'd be pretty raw. They will probably announce the Marvel Phase 4 schedule, or at least the first half of it through 2022. Maybe let us know when the next Avengers movie is going to be, and just call it the Untitled Avengers movie, like they did for Avengers Endgame for a couple years. Maybe a concept reel for some of those movies. They do concept art years and years before movies comes out. They use that in their pitches when they're trying to figure out what a movie's actually going to look like when they start to cast it. Right now, the Marvel Phase 4 movie schedule that we know about are Black Widow and Eternals movies next year. They start shooting Eternals really soon. 2021 will be Black Panther 2, Doctor Strange 2, maybe Shang-Chi 2, depending on when they start shooting that movie. 2022 is going to be Guardians of the Galaxy 3, maybe as Guardians of the Galaxy with Thor, as implied by the ending of Avengers Endgame.
You should fight one another for the honor of leadership.
Not necessary.
Everybody knows who's in charge.
Me.
Yes, you. Of course. Of course. Of course.
Maybe Captain Marvel 2, and then a third movie. We don't know what that third movie is going to be, but Kevin Feige has said that they're looking at doing a Nova movie, Thor 4, Ant-Man and the Wasp 3, and then obviously Avengers 5. And it should go without saying that of course they're going to do Spider-Man 3, but technically Spider-Man 3 doesn't count against Marvel's Phase 3 movies when they say they're doing 3 movies per year because Sony releases the Spider-Man solo films, not Disney and Marvel. Even though Spider-Man is in the MCU, those solo films are in the MCU, it's still Sony's name on everything. They're the ones that market it, they spend all the money to make the trailers and put it in theaters. So Spider-Man 3 is probably going to happen sometime in 2021. I guess they could wait 3 years, but usually those Spider-Man films are out every 2 years, and Sony loves them, that Spider-Man money. So I just don't see them waiting 3 years for that next Spider-Man film. What's happening next year, though, because there was originally going to be 3 movies, they took Guardians of the Galaxy 3 off the schedule. Sony's Venom Morbius spin-off movie with Jared Leto took that spot, so that's going to be a summer movie next year. So there'll still be the same number of comic book movies next year, but one of them will be a Sony Venomverse movie instead of being Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Kevin Feige also did confirm that Sony was planning on doing a Venom crossover with Tom Holland's Spider-Man, but I'll do a separate video about that. But it did confirm, based on the way he explained it, that they will be continuing to make Spider-Man 3 with Sony. So if you were worried that they weren't going to re-sign the sharing arrangement for Tom Holland's Spider-Man character, do not worry anymore. But Kevin Feige did say that they would talk more about the future of Spider-Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe after Spider-Man Far From Home hit theaters. That presentation might also be part of their Hall H panel. There's all those Avengers TV shows they're doing on the Disney Plus streaming service. They could use part of the Hall H panel to talk about that, maybe show off some concept teasers. I'm not expecting a lot of really big X-Men or Fantastic Four teasers or news, but Kevin Feige did say that they had already started planning for what they were going to do with those characters. They've been having pitch meetings about different characters, different concepts for where they would fit those people in the MCU movies during Marvel Phase 4 and Marvel Phase 5. For the most part, that's a little further off, so don't expect any Marvel, X-Men, or Fantastic Four movies or big characters until after 2022. I'll be doing a bunch of Spider-Man Far From Home videos in the next couple of weeks, so as long as you have alerts enabled for my channel, you should see all those videos. The other really cool thing you probably heard about is live-action Spider-Verse being teased by Sony. They really are thinking about putting Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, Tom Holland's Spider-Man, and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man in a movie together sometime in the future, but no timeline for when that would happen. I will probably do a separate video about that to explain how it would work and what they said exactly about it. My next big video will probably be about the Spider-Man Venom crossover, so look out for that. Congratulations to the giveaway winner from my last big Marvel video, Marcus M&M. Please email me on the About page of my channel so I can get your details. Click here for my non-spoilery early Spider-Man Far From Home review, and click here for a whole bunch of Avengers Endgame deleted scenes and the alternate ending of the movie. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.